Don't ever give people more than one chance to show you their ugliness. Today, watch out for those bad apples. My sister tried to break off my engagement because she wanted to marry first. I cut off all financial help, and now she begs for mercy. This is Emily here, 22, female, and I really want to seek some advice from all you guys. It's about my older sister, Sophia, 32, female. Sit tight because you're in for a ride. Today was supposed to be my wedding day, but things happened. One of them was that my sister lied about my fiancé having an affair with her. Shocking, right, that a sister could do that to her own blood? Before you begin to have so many ideas, let me tell you a little bit about my sister, Sophia. She's the family's bad apple that fell from the tree. I grew up hearing my parents, most especially my mother, complain so much about her. Some days it could be her grades in school. Other times it could be how she was dressed and so on. Since she was the older one, she considered herself to be the entitled one. Right from childhood, she had set some ground rules in the house that she had the first right over everything. As the younger daughter, I was used to playing with Sophia's toys and wearing her clothes. But she continued to be the narcissistic child, even as a grown-up adult. Sophia was never good at academics. She dropped out of school midway. She also had a thing for money, so she had multiple boyfriends who would cater to her expensive needs. Sophia struggled to choose the right career path for her. I never blamed Sophia for being confused about her path in life because I knew that not everyone has clarity in their life. My parents bugged her about various things she could get into, but she saw it more as a threat and as a way to compare the two of us. I initially thought my parents were being too harsh on her. She just needed a little bit more love and, well, guidance. But I see Sophia now, and I think maybe they were right. On the other hand, I was always an understanding child, as per my mom. I was an average student in school, but I was interested in graphic design. I used to look up designs online and try to replicate them on my own. My father was the first to notice my liking for design in my senior year. He pushed me to do something about it, and I applied to design school, and it kick-started my career as a graphic designer. I moved out of my house and started living independently after my last year in college. I moved from Chicago to Los Angeles, the city of angels, to meet the right people, but most importantly, to find a new environment. After I moved, my parents pestered Sophia to take her life seriously. Tired of my mother's ramblings, Sophia left the house and showed up at my door. It was all a shock to me when I woke up one morning, and there she was, standing at my door with her things. She is my sister, older for that matter. I cannot abandon my family when they need me. Guess I was the only one who thought family was important. Sophia did not chase any endeavors or try to put herself out there for a job. Instead, she would spend the entire day at home watching reality TV reruns. At night, she would go clubbing or restaurant hopping with her new, superficial fancy friends. It was ridiculous. I tried to subtly tell her that she needed to be financially independent and to stop thinking that I would always be there to provide her with every need of money. I wasn't her only source of income. Her rich, on-and-off boyfriend, Nathan, was also present to always help her out. I say on and off again because they are something. Initially, I thought she had moved in to get rid of our parents, but the actual reason was her boyfriend, Nathan. His father's tech startup was opening a new office in Los Angeles. Hence, he moved so that he could take care of it. Of course, my pushover sister couldn't leave him alone, so she followed him. However, Nathan was living in his company's quarters, where Sophia couldn't go, or else Nathan would be reported to his father. So, she had no option but to show up at my door. It's been more than 2 years since she's been freeloading at my house. But the actual problem that brought me here is my fiancé, Ethan. See, I've always thought that I would be unlucky in love. This is probably because I have been hit with heartbreak from left to right. It started with my boyfriend in high school who used me for popularity and never took me seriously. My boyfriend in college was not good enough either. He took solace in other women's company. I craved love, especially seeing how my parents were the support, unconditional love, and everything else. I wanted it. In Los Angeles, everywhere I looked, I saw a couple happy, thrilled to bask in each other's presence. But for me, I was all alone amidst it all. I met Ethan, 28, male, a marketing consultant. He was the sweetest of them all, the most beautiful, the smartest. I was immediately intrigued by those honest eyes. We maintained eye contact for a while, hoping that someone would smile. It wasn't the first time being a hot, gorgeous guy. It was Los Angeles. We had handsome men swimming around the city. But I wasn't interested, mainly because half of them were not good for me and only wanted superficial connections. Ethan and I conversed about our sibling stories. Before he walked up to me, I was going through the grocery list Sophia had written, and she had put down half the world for me to buy. She had added some fancy items that literally twisted my tongue to pronounce. Ethan caught me talking to myself and immediately chuckled. He explained that he was also going through the same thing with his younger sister, Mia, 17, female, who was in high school. He was shopping for women's items. I had thought it was for a girlfriend, but it was for his sister, Mia. He accompanied me to do the rest of my groceries as we spoke more about how adulthood is not great. He had offered to pay for my items, but I couldn't accept them. Darn it, I'm just too independent. He had also disclosed that Mia had suffered an assault last year and grew a fear of the public afterward. Ethan was trying to be there for her. He let her come live with him because she felt unsafe at their parents' place. I was impressed. Ethan and I had so much in common. We were both parents to our siblings, and there it started, the whirlwind of romance. I had almost forgotten how beautiful it was to have someone love you, love every part of you. Ethan was just that kind of person. On May 23rd of last year, we started dating. It was the most effortless relationship I had. But it was hard for Sophia to get along with Ethan. She would give unwelcome comments about anything involving him. Ethan did his best to be nice to her by getting her favorite chocolate and even a designer bag, knowing she loved fancy items. Sophia did not care. I eventually called Sophia out on her disrespectful behavior toward Ethan. She explained that she was just worried she would lose me to him. She was just feeling insecure. She was worried about how life would be for her if I was more serious with Ethan. She knew that we were gradually getting serious. I told her I loved her dearly and promised nothing would make me abandon her. That's what I thought. I thought my sister would carry the same love and respect I had for her, but no. A few months later, Ethan proposed to me. I said yes, a million yes. The engagement was set. My best friend, Claire, 29, female, had taken the part of the event coordinator because she was an expert on me. Everyone was pleased that I had found the right one, including my mom, who initially thought I would end up with millions of cats. Joke's on her, I had found the right one. Little did I know that the happiness would not last. Sophia had cooked up a dubious plan to cut off my engagement. I got to Ethan's apartment, ready for us to go cake tasting with Claire. But what I saw was crazy. Ethan had his hands all over my sister. Seemed he was trying to kiss her, and Sophia wanted to let go of him. Sophia was a straw. She pulled away and slapped him in the face. Ethan was apparently drunk, or rather woozy. In tears, Sophia explained that she wanted to make amends with Ethan for how she treated him during family dinner. Ethan had been showing advances towards Sophia. Sophia said she wanted Ethan to stop doing it and respect our relationship. She also showed me the handwritten letters that Ethan had sent her. I read one of them, and it was inappropriate behavior. Ethan had written, "I care about you deeply and wish we could be closer. I hope that marrying your sister will bring us together in some way." I believed Sophia had no reason to lie. I stormed out of the apartment. Claire had told me to reconsider my attempts to break up and listen to him when he sobered up. I agreed. I needed to hear his own side of the story. He had shown up at the house after I had refused to respond to his messages and calls. The first thing I gave him was a slap to the face. I later threw the letters addressed to Sophia in his face. I hated that he feigned innocence. After he read them, his face turned red, and he denied having sent those letters to Sophia. He said that Sophia unexpectedly showed up at his apartment with a bottle of wine and some dessert, which he didn't remember. She told Ethan that she wanted to mend a relationship since we were getting married, and it was her gesture for a new bond. Ethan happily agreed, and they both drank from that wine bottle. Ethan said it was jinxed, and he realized it at the first sip, but Sophia insisted that it was an original homemade wine that her friend had gifted her. So Ethan didn't bother and drank it all. He said that after a glass, he quite doesn't remember what happened next, except some hazy shadow where Sophia forced him to finish the bottle and made him feel her body. He said that, although he had almost passed out, he tried to stop Sophia, who overpowered him after a while, and he doesn't remember what happened next. I rolled my eyes and told him I wasn't falling for his so-called victim story. Ethan pleaded and pleaded for me to reconsider. I was done. Sophia's plan had worked. I broke up my engagement with him. Ethan pleaded one last time that I listened to him, and I swore that my sister was the most essential part of my life. Little did I know what was the true story. Ethan was relentless with his calls and text messages. He never ceased to let me know the truth. He still maintained the stance that he had nothing to do with my sister. I just wanted to heal. It was impossible to do so. Everyone asked me what had happened between Ethan and me. I could have easily said that Ethan was only using me to get to my sister, but I was not the type to tarnish someone's image. It wasn't my place to do so. The society would find out on their own what had happened. Ethan eventually stopped reaching out, and I heard he had taken a trip to clear his head. A part of me wanted him to plead that I forget everything that had happened. I knew it was not possible. I wasn't the kind to give second chances anymore. A few weeks later, Sophia began to undergo troubles of her own. Sophia's boyfriend, Nathan, was a pompous fool. Although they had been going on and off, I knew my sister seriously loved him, despite her attempts to try to hook up with someone else or to meet another person. Despite him, he was always the one for her. You know, the kind of couple that yell at each other 1 second and start to make out like animals. They would throw things at each other, scream, cry, but I knew that they were meant to be. It was just that kind of relationship. I was already used to it. This time it was getting too toxic, and I'm glad it was because I finally knew the truth. One fateful night, I was just nursing my heartbreak by drinking with Claire. We heard Sophia yelling at Nathan that she needed a ring on her finger. He had responded he was not getting married anytime soon and would not be pressured because of her. She expressed that she was tired of living with me and wanted her own house. By her own house, she meant her husband's. Basically, the conversation went like this. "Oh, I thought you loved your sister." "Of course I do." "Oh, such love that you ruined her chances of happiness." At that point, guys, I was intrigued. I wanted to know what he was talking about. I thought about coming out of hiding to ask him what he meant, but Claire gave me a signal to stay right in my hiding spot. Sophia had responded to her crazy boyfriend. "Oh, please, that man could not ever make her happy." Sophia went crazy and increased her voice. "I don't care if he wanted to give her the world. I am the one meant to get married early. I am the one that's old enough to. Just because she has a house and a career doesn't mean she deserves to have something that I cannot have. Like, what is wrong with this girl?" At that point, I needed to come out. It sounded as though my sister had been resentful towards me. Where did all this malice come from? Despite Claire's attempts to hold me back, I moved away from the door and barged in. Nathan's face was red and my sister's hypocritical. She tried to pull up a wry smile. Nathan glanced at Sophia, waiting for her to explain. Sophia was shaking at first, then flipped like a demon possessed, a jealous, selfish monster. That's when I was convinced that she had done something sketchy. I glanced back at Sophia, who had a frown on her face but had no words coming out of her mouth. Nathan let the news known. Sophia had lied about Ethan and the fact that he had sent those personal letters. I was livid, especially when Nathan said he had paid a sketch artist to forge Ethan's handwriting to write those letters. Sophia pounced on Nathan immediately. He pushed her back and revealed how Sophia begged him to help her break my engagement. Usually I would try to separate both of them, but I could care less. I had been living a facade. My sister was not an angel, and I had just let go of the man I loved for her. I bombarded her with questions. It almost turned physical. She yelled that she did not care much about me or my life. She had only been using me because she could not do anything with her life. I chased both of them out of my house. Nathan left the house immediately, but this spoiled princess refused to leave. The neighbors were already peeping from their windows, hearing our screams. To save me from trouble, Claire took me to her place a few blocks away. It's been a week since then. I have almost flooded Claire's house with my tears. Meanwhile, Claire picked up my essentials from my apartment and insisted I stay with her for a few weeks. I'm not sure if Sophia has left the house or not, but seriously, at this point, I don't have the energy to deal with her. In fact, I don't care about her right now. I'm worried about how I get back Ethan after what I did to him. I don't think an apology would work. Any advice is highly appreciated. You've got to be some kind of crazy to have to do something like this. That's pure evil. I know that you're a good person and you're just looking out for her because she's family, but that's enough now. She has never looked out for you. Her selfishness is toxic. Just because the same blood runs in your veins doesn't mean she's good for you. Time to cut all ties. She's an incredibly ugly person who can't stand seeing you successful and happy. How sad is that? Date 1. You wouldn't believe it, guys. I wish I were a crazy person who would respond violently on days like these. You know how they say that people regret what they have done? Actually, it's a lie. Sophia didn't give a damn about my feelings. Claire said that she always knew that Sophia had malicious intentions for me. She did try to caution me but didn't say anything outrightly because of the immense sisterly love I had. It hurt that I was the only one who felt that way. The first thing I wanted to do after hearing about the betrayal was to get Ethan back. Bad luck hit again. Ethan was in the company of a woman I recognized as his ex. He had spoken a lot about the woman. They could never be together because of her parents' problems. Seemed as though they were reconciling. I told Ethan about all of my sister's schemes and apologized profusely. Ethan understood I didn't believe him, but he claimed he needed space away from me. Word had gotten out that he was playing the two sisters, and there was a lot of discrimination in town. He needed to heal.
What would you do in this situation? Let us know in the comments. If this story had you on the edge of your seat, smash that like button and subscribe for more jaw-dropping family drama, shocking betrayals, and the revenge stories you won't believe.